equality is affirmative action. Equity is no longer needing affirmative action.
Which is such a great line, and I did cut it from the script. But now, I'm gonna put it back in.
But it's kind of, you know, you said something to me, this was a while back, and it was during the military episodes, and you said, you know, be wary of anyone who calls you a hero, because that means they're very okay with you dying.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think there's something similar going on with this, and it's be careful of people that celebrate you fighting for your freedom and your equality, because they're very okay with you starving.
Absolutely.
And that's the equity part. Like, if you force a people to fight for 400 years just to be equal, well, everybody else during that time has been like putting shit under the mattress. And equity, you said it best, compounds.
Yeah.
It accrues over time. Residuals.
Yeah.
And the indoctrination of a country where people can't even hear that without going, no, oh my God.
But you're not slaves now.
Yeah.
So why are Asians okay?
Well, it's because the marketing is great. The marketing that over the past like 300 years, America's used 246, the marketing, top-notch marketing. That's why people go, oh yeah, oh, it's freedom, freedom, freedom.
One thing we did talk about in our research call, which really stood out to me, is that America always wants to believe that it's good. And to address systemic racism is to look at a foundation and say something may be wrong. To address interpersonal racism is to say that person's bad. America's still good, but maybe something's just wrong with that person. It's a bad apple instead of a bad tree.
It's really hard to talk about this subject because as a nation, we do believe our own mythology. So much so that we cannot ever, you know, reconcile the fact that the foundation of it was pretty terrible.
Pocahontas had a raccoon friend. Sang songs every day, and she married him when she was 27.
Right. That's what happened.
Speaking of television film, you had such a funny point of like putting Black people into entertainment.
Oh yeah. Oh, putting Black people in entertainment, you're just saying, okay, now these Black people, they have made it in this script. But what about the Black people in your neighborhood? They're like, no, but these Black people, perfect, it's done. In fact, done. And you're like, I think that's definitely part of it, is that Black people seeing themselves in media. But if you can only point to fictional characters or very rich Black celebrities as a way to say, oh, this country is fair, then what you just did is help me with my argument. This country is so fair that I can name 3 Black people that don't have anything to complain about. Right. You go, oh my, only 3?
That's the other but people.
Yeah.
If it's unfair, well, but Barack Obama was president, but LeBron James, but Oprah, and you just want to say like, yeah, but Rudolph. Like, yeah, if your nose lights up, not everybody's nose goes that way.
I do like the fact that John just confirmed something we've been talking about privately. Rudolph is Black. And
what?
Rudolph is
why
Black.
Is he Black?
Well, because his nose, that was about like phenotype.
Do you want to do reindeer games? Sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Rudolph was definitely Black.
I put in this script a joke about talking about Sex and the City, who's devoted their entire season to righting centuries of wrongs. And you were like, I do want to talk about that.
I do.
About Sex and the City?
Well, I mean, like, not exactly, but I do want to talk about, like, how do you actually, I feel like, you know, Sex and the City, the reboot, tried to correct a past wrong, right? Like, they tried to address, like, their ridiculous whiteness in New York City in the 90s by bringing the show back in, you know, the 21st century with, like, all these people of color. Like, now they all have, like, a person of color bestie, and people are mad at that shit now. Like, what do you do?
There's
it's a problem, though.
There's one rich Black woman, and there's also a very rich Black woman on the show. And I think for people who make that much money, I'm glad they finally get to be seen on TV.
You know what I think the difference is, and maybe this can't go in because I'm not looking to war with HBO, but or Netflix.
Just like that, Chelsea was a coward.
Well, this is I think that the true problem with like networks and TV shows and diversity is that they approach it in such a shitty way that then they make the show bad, therefore teaching white people that diversity is bad. It's like, oh, The Bachelor used to be my trashy good show, and now diversity is here and everyone's nice and there's no trash.
Yeah.
And I don't like my show anymore. Diversity is bad. And it's like same with Sex and the City. Sex and the City used to be so good, and now Black Charlotte's on, and the show's bad. It's like, well, it's not Black Charlotte. It's all the white people who were like, get Black Charlotte in here.
Right, right.
I just want to acknowledge how the phrase Sex and the City tried to right a wrong blessed me. That they're all sitting down in the writers' room meeting like, guys, we can't do anything about the Voting Rights Act, but hand it to Black Charlotte, we can do it.
Oh my
Can I just ask a question? So her name is not Black Charlotte?
Her name is not. Oh my God. If that rolls in
Is
the
that not in
credits-
research? I mean, all this paper on the table. What's
What?
her
That I
name?
didn't know.
But like, okay, so that's like one thing that they give Black people. That's one thing they go, you know what?
Yeah, but
But isn't that because we love a good window dressing? Like, we have a problem that goes to the corrosive roots of the tree. And instead of addressing the corrosive roots of the tree, we make sure that no Doritos commercial doesn't have a Black man and a white woman or an Asian gay couple. So we don't ever have to deal with the reality of those things as long as we can deal with it symbolically. We have the same problem with patriotism. We have the same problem with racism. There's the easy way and there's the hard way. The easy way is casting. It's always, man, casting is the way out of all of this shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Also,
Wait a second, where's Cameron?
they're never like. Also,
Available, not the head tilt.
those commercials, they're never like. This is what kills me about them. They're never like, oh, we need more Black people in commercials, so let's put a Black couple in them. It's just now every white person in the world is married to a Black person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
every
true.
white girl is best
Yes.
friends with a Black girl now, and it's like you can't even.
Chelsea, one step further, they actually did the flip-flop. They did the thing that America has been doing since Thomas Jefferson. They go, now every white guy gets a Black wife in a commercial.
Yes.
Which
Sure.
is definitely historically accurate. It's been going on for a while. But
But it's a commercial.
it's a
How much credit do you get to be like, I show Black people so you can give me your money? We want everybody's money to be represented here.
But I'll
Even Black
guarantee
people
you,
use Tide.
there's shit doesn't have, the one thing I know about commercials is it may be the most considered art form on earth. In other words, it goes through a process like nothing else. So there are meetings. None of that is happenstance. There are meetings where they go, we really think that Tide is a very inclusive laundry detergent. And we feel that Asian representation and Black representation is important to this. So when you storyboard it, like that's all done.
But you forgot the part where they go, and we hear Bay is trending. So we're thinking
Gotta get it in there.
Tide Bay.
Right.
But John, then what happens is you go, oh, and these are the Black families that can't afford to rent in places with in-unit washers and dryers. If you want to just look at that.
Right, but no concern for anything structural. I remember in the beginning of the pandemic even, commercials are the first place to jump to. If you remember, there were our heroes fighting to save Americans. And here at Pringles, we want you to know.
Chills. Chills.